In the early hours of 25 October 1944, Admiral Kurita's center force closed in on Rear Admiral Clifton Sprague's Taffy 3 near the island of Samar. Watching their approach, Lieutenant Commander Robert Copeland addressed the crew of USS Samuel B. Roberts, one of Taffy 3's destroyer escorts. He told them, "This will be a fight against overwhelming odds, from which survival cannot be expected." Taffy 3 had neither the firepower nor the armor to match the 23 ships of the approaching Japanese force.
Admiral Kurita enjoyed every advantage over the Americans at this point. He had 4 battleships. He had several cruisers and destroyers. The combined weight of the American forces did not equal the 70,000 tons of the super battleship Yamato. In fact, one of the turrets with the 18.1-inch guns on the Yamato was equal in weight to an American destroyer.
At 7 a.m., the Japanese opened fire. Rear Admiral Sprague knew that thousands of Americans landing at Leyte would die if the Japanese reached them. In desperation, Sprague ordered his ships to billow dense smoke from their funnels. Camouflaged, the American destroyers began what seemed a suicidal charge towards the Japanese armada. The USS Johnston was among the first to engage the Japanese. Zigzagging at maximum speed in and out of the smoke, she fired 500 shells into Kumano, a ship 5 times her size. As both sides exchanged torpedoes, Sprague ordered Taffy 3 to retreat east into a storm, intending to exploit the bad visibility and stall the Japanese advance. The smoke-filled melee was confused further by Japanese shells, which each carried different colored dye so that ships could see where their shots fell. Blue, green, pink, and yellow fountains of water exploded with every Japanese shell. As they did, American commanders ordered their ships to weave between the explosions and conceal their ships amid the puffs of color. The American ships were supported by Wildcat fighter planes and Avenger torpedo bombers, which took off from Taffy 3's escort carriers.
Those airplanes on those light aircraft carriers were armed to bomb ground targets on Leyte to help MacArthur's forces. They would fly just dry runs against the Japanese warships, even if they had no bombs or no ammunition, no bullets, just to try to disrupt the Japanese operations.
Amid the mayhem, Kurita mistook Taffy 3's ships for much bigger warships.
They put up a heroic, courageous fight. They basically deceive him. Their bravery made Kurita begin to think to himself, well, if destroyers are attacking me like this, maybe there's a major fleet beyond the horizon or beyond that smoke screen.
Unaware that Bull Halsey was still chasing Ozawa hundreds of kilometers away, Kurita became convinced that he was in fact facing Halsey's third fleet. At 9:20, to Sprague's amazement, Kurita's ships turned away in retreat and withdrew from the San Bernardino Strait. Admiral Halsey finally sent his fast battleships back, but they were too late to cut off Kurita's escape or help Taffy 3, which had lost 5 ships and over 1,000 men. Days later, the battle for Leyte Gulf ended in an overwhelming American victory.
This was the last major offensive that the Japanese would try during World War II. They were reduced to leaving their warships in harbor and occasionally coming back to attack the Americans in suicide attacks. So this is the last great naval battle of World War II, and the Japanese never again pose a threat to the Americans.